What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the ranch. You know, today I'm pretty excited because today we're starting a new project. Ta-da! That's right, everybody. We're building a chopper. Let's go. So what in the world did I drag home from Marketplace this time? Well, this is a 2002 Harley Davidson Sportster 1200 Custom. Say all that 5 times fast. So the deal is years and years ago, I built my Yamaha 650 Hardtail, and that was a lot of fun, but as soon as I got that bike done, I knew I wanted to build a Harley, and it's been years since I've been wanting to build a Harley chopper. You know, a nice hardtail, raked out, stretched out. And I finally decided, you know what, let's pull the trigger, let's do it now. So that's why I picked this guy up. So the plan is to strip this thing all the way down to a bare frame. I'm going to chop off the back half of the bike. All that's going to go bye-bye. And I picked up this. This is from Lowbrow Customs. This is their hardtail kit for, I think, was it 1988 to 2003 Sportsters, if I remember right. So when I chop off the back half of the bike, then this guy will slide into place and weld together, making it a hardtail. First things first is I got to tear that thing apart. Like I said, we're stripping her down to a bare frame. But first, this thing actually runs and drives. I actually bought a running and driving project for a change. So let's go for one last little rip before we tear it apart. Kind of getting some weather. I'm getting sprinkled on a little bit, so may have to cut the joyride just a little bit short. Got sunshine to the north and dark nasty clouds and rain to the south, and it's heading my way. So let's get back to the house and start tearing this out. You know, one last thing before we tear this thing down to 100 pieces. One last thing. So I'll just go over this thing really quick. I was looking for a custom because I wanted the 21-inch front wheel and all the chromed out engine covers, which was something that I want for this project, something that I have in mind. We don't need the bro fairing. That's going to go on Marketplace. I'm not really crazy about the big shorty FU pipes. Not really crazy about those, so I'll probably build some different pipes out of stainless is what I'm thinking. Not really sure, but we'll see how it goes. One cool thing I want to point out on this, though, is the paint job that's on this thing. So it's got kind of this cool purple marble scallops going on, and you can tell that it's been hand pinstriped and hand lettered. Now, 2002 is the year model. I looked at the VIN and it was manufactured in the Kansas City plant, so it never really made it that far. St. Joe, Harley Davidson, St. Joseph, Missouri. And then if I come over here and look on this side of the tank, St. Joe HD 2002. So what I'm thinking is the dealership may have had somebody custom paint this thing before they put it on the showroom floor. But I just thought that was cool. I'm not going to use these tins. I'm probably going to fix some little ipsies on them and polish them up and throw them on Marketplace and try to recoup some money to keep building on this project. But yeah, start tearing it up. Well, alrighty, now that I got everything scattered all over the damn place, I think my next step is, well, this thing's just a little greasy grimy, and I don't like working on greasy grimy if I don't have to. So I'm going to run to the local dollar store, pick up some oven cleaner, get this thing hosed down and power washed off, and get the grease and grime and nasties off of it. Then while that's drip drying, I'm going to clean up my clutter here. Dollar store oven cleaner. For the price, this is some of the best degreaser that I've found. Just, you know, don't get it in your eyes, don't get it in your lungs, unless you really want to clean out your sinuses. It'll do great at that, but I still wouldn't recommend it. Don't stand downwind of it like I am right now. Perfect. Alright, we are cleaned up, degreased, and just about ready to cut this thing in half. See how nice that cleaned up? Hell yeah. So anyway, pulled up my work instructions over here on the old Lowbrow's website, and I'm laying down my cut lines to know where to slice this frame. I'm going to show a little trick what I'm using here to get this laid out. Alright, so we're looking at the lower two rails of the bike here, and according to Lowbrow's instructions, you're supposed to measure off of this mounting surface forward 6 inches and make your cut line. So I've got a little square, and I'm just going to butt that right up against that mounting boss, and they say to keep your ruler parallel with the frame rail. And what I found is this little tiny peg right there. That is making it handy for me to rest my ruler against there. So everything's looking good there. Take a pencil and mark 6 inches. Okay. Now here's my little trick. My line is right there. Now how do you draw a line and keep it even and square all the way around this tube without it kind of wandering all over the place? Take a hose clamp, take a little bit driver, and hold the edge of that hose clamp up against your mark. And go ahead and tighten it up. As you tighten it, that clamp will square itself up to the tube. Now you can take your Sharpie and trace around the edge of that hose clamp, because that Sharpie line is going to show up really nice and easy to see while we're cutting this and throwing sparks all over the place. Now we remove the hose clamp. Double check our measurement. Right on 6 inches. Right there, I've got a nice Sharpie line to follow. Same on this side. I've already laid this side out. Except we'll just follow that Sharpie line along with our cutoff wheel, and now I just got to lay out, do the same thing up here on the top, and yeah, be ready to cut. Okay, and here we are with a nice clean Sharpie line to follow with our cutoff wheel. And we'll get our square up here and double check, make sure we're still where we want to be at 1.5 inches-ish. Cool. Let's make sparks. What can go wrong, huh? Oh. Yep. Cut my bike in half. This thing was doing burnouts earlier today. Okay, now that I have half a motorcycle, went ahead and cleaned up the insides of these tubes a little bit. Just use a little burr bit in there to clean things up. Now I'm going to go ahead and test fit the hardtail kit, just to at least get it there so I can get a visual of it. Come on. It's late and I'm getting tired. I want you to work. I want you to fit, please. See if squeezing these rails together will help things kind of made up and slide together. What do you think, Buster? Is this going to help? I ain't gonna lie, I am struggling just a little bit to get this hardtail made to the front half. It's like the tubes are just a little bit off from each other. I mean, who knows? But I think I found the solution. I'm gonna use my good old scissor jack and a block of wood. What can go wrong? I see nothing wrong with this. like it. Thank you, baby. Hey, we got a tappy tappy. We'll just tap it in. Stand back and take a look. That's better. Let's put a back wheel on. Why not? Okay. Back wheel's mocked up. All right, here we are. Not too bad, huh? Like I said, I still need to, trim it up and true up the fit, get the motor in place, get everything squared and lined up to each other, and tack welded together. But that'll be a tomorrow job. But hey, man, this ain't bad for a day's work. That's better. Okay, that's better. Woo! Stay. Okay. All right. Get some bolts thrown in here and no. Try falling. Shit. It's better. Need some bolts. Where to put the bolts? Bolts, bolts, bolts. Are you gonna stay? Please. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I'll finish throwing the bolts in, draw everything together, make sure everything's square and looking good, and if so, be ready to start throwing down some welds. Well, this is not exactly how I wanted to be doing things, but I really want to get as much of this welding done as I can with the engine in place, and I'm trying to get to these bottoms. I just can't get to them, so the idea is to pick the bike up and lay her down. How to lay her down, Hoss. So let's see what happens. I'm doing this all by myself too, so lots of fun. Hey, easy. Easy. Oh, of course it's pissing oil all over the floor. Okay, I think next is pull the engine back out and finish up the welds that I can't get to right now with the engine in place. And I think that'll be a good stopping point. You know what? I'm sitting here looking at it. Not bad. Not bad at all. But you know, I feel like there's something missing. Feel like, you know, there's a little bit of something on the table here. We just do a little bit more work to this thing and make it way cooler. Can you really call it a chopper if it still has the factory rake? So I think I'm going to build a frame jig, and I think I'm going to cut the neck, and I'm going to rake this thing. But that's going to have to come for another episode. For the meantime, guys, thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching. Hope you like this. And as always, catch you on the next one. God. The struggle bus is on schedule today. Bah.